Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Shadowgate, the Living Castle. Shadowgate the Living Castle is published by Trick or Treat Studios, designed by 317 Games or 317 Games, I'm not sure. Plays 2 to 4 players, 60 to 90 minutes, ages 14 plus. Now, what I know about this game is it is based on a video game. And if I could find the rule book, I don't know where I put it. Let's see here. Maybe there's some backstory here because I don't know much about it. During the Age of the Great Expansion, an evil mage known as Talimar the Starless turned the race of Westland against each other and brought horrible war to the land. Talimar had betrayed his order, the Circle of 12, and caused great harm to the people due to his lust for power. The remaining Circle of 12 gathered their power to help the surrounding kingdoms overthrow and capture Talimar. So, there's some theme. I'm not going to read it all because there's more. I didn't even know that was a theme. Just up front here, that doesn't come through in the game. Okay, so just nip that in the bud there. What this game is, it's a cooperative-ish game, semi-cooperative game where players are going to doing quests. They are trying to basically get weapons, items to help them complete those quests and ultimately defeat the big bad in the final quest to end the game with the most points. That's it. There's a theme that I just read you. Doesn't come through, but let's just go down to the table. Check it out.
Come on, play the game!
Alright, so here's the game of Shadowgate, the Living Castle, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to give each player a character. There's beginning side and there's like different sides. I just randomly pick a couple here. So I have a beginning one with this character, orange, and a non-beginner one with the white character. Each player is going to get 2 item cards, which I've done here. I forgot to do that. Got to lock these quests. Then you're going to put the board out in the middle of the table. You're going to remove the cavern staircase from quest 1, shuffle it up, flip 4, put the cavern staircase back in, shuffle it up, then shuffle all quest 2, quest 3, put a lock on 2, lock on 3, shuffle the item cards, puzzle cards, staff items, death cards. They go in their appropriate spaces on the board. The torch will go on 10. The djinn cards will go over there with the djinn token. The extra elemental tokens and trait tokens are there, energy cards, and final quest. And then the dice can just be hanging out and we're ready to go. So this is a semi-cooperative game based on a video game of the same title. I haven't played it, but the game simulates it pretty well from what I've heard. So the way the game works is, on your turn, we're going to follow this player's turn thing here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to equip. So this player's going first. If I had some items that I could equip, these are general items, they cannot be equipped. So this player, if I had one of these, I could equip it to a yellow, and that's going to help me in my journeys, do quests and all that stuff as I play. But I don't have any, so I can't equip. So I can go to action phase. I can use my character ability. I can play these cards. I can use a djinn, solve a djinn riddle if I have one. Do I want to use any of these? I do not want to use any of these right now. Then we're going to move on to the quest phase. So when you're doing the quest phase, what you're going to do is you're going to send your token out to do one of these quests. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the crypt. There's different kinds of quests. There's puzzle quests, there's monster quests, and I forget what these are, but they're different, just different kinds of quests. You're going to need different things to accomplish them. So I'm going to go here. Now what I have to do is I need to defeat this, and if I can, I get a reward. If I can't, then I get the punishment that's right there, which moves down the time. So I need 3 attack, 1 of that trait, which I'm terrible at remembering what the traits are. And any player that fails an attempt on this quest takes a cursed token. Ew, yuck. All right, so I'm going to go there. Now, when you go to do a quest, if you can just beat it by having your trait value, you beat it, you're done, you move on. If you can't, you can roll 2 dice. And then you can assign those dice to the traits that you need to help you defeat that quest. Now, if I didn't want to do a quest, I can also do something called cycling. That is taking a quest, putting it at the bottom, and then flipping a new quest from any quest stack that's available. Right now I only have the level 1, so I'd flip a new one. If you cycle once, you can still do a quest. If you cycle twice, you can no longer do a quest for your turn. So I'm going to roll, and I'm going to assign that to that. To that I have 4 and 2, so I have beaten this. I needed 3 and 1. So I get this card. This is going to go into my points. It's worth 10 points. It also has a diamond there. If I had a diamond card equipped, I could put it into my scoring pile and score the points. But I don't have one, so I'll just do this. And as a reward, I get 2 item cards. And now I have stuff to equip later. Did the quest. Now we're going to go to resolve. I can do my player ability if I want. You may discard 2 general item cards. I'm actually going to do that. So I'm going to discard these 2 general item cards. Take this away. And I'm going to draw an item card. Don't be a general. Yes. All right. I want weapons. Those are good. And then the end phase, this is when you replace any missing quest and all that. So I replace a quest, and it's now the other player's turn. Oh, we have an event. Red ones are events. All players lose -1 to each base trait. This card is removed after 1 full round and cannot be cycled. Okay, so we each have now are at -1 at all of our base traits. So you can take these little tokens, just put them here to remind you, or if you just remember, but I like to put them here so I know what's going on. I don't think I can be less than a 0, so I'm not going to take that one, but there we go. All right, so now it's this player's turn, and they can equip, so they're going to go ahead and equip this one. They only have room to equip 1 yellow, so they won't equip that one. Then they're going to go to the action phase. I don't want to, when you complete a monster quest, no, I don't want to do that. But I think I am going to do this one because it's an easy one. So I'm going to go here on the quest. This is going to give me a puzzle piece. And as a reward, you take a death card. So I have to take a death card. It's worth 10 points. I get a free puzzle piece. These stay face down. Everything else stays face up. So I have the platinum horn. These are used to complete some of these. Just hangs out here. And then I take a death card. Death cards are worth -5 points at the end of the game. It's like dying in the video game. And I take my character back. When you complete a monster quest, which I did complete, those are green, I get an item card as well. I now have a scimitar. All right. And now we're moving on to the planning. I'll do this one. And at the end of the round, this moves down 1. And we'll keep playing. And eventually, I'm not going to keep playing because this game goes on for a minute, but eventually this card will come out, the Cavern Staircase. When that comes out, that will, basically it's removed. And then Quest 2 will be available. And in the Quest 2 stack, there is the Banquet Hall, which will let you remove the lock from the Quest 3s. And then in the Quest 3s, there's going to be a card in there that comes out when it's unlocked that once someone has acquired, once all 3 of these staff items are gone, they come as rewards for some of these quests that come out. Once all these are gone, and we reveal that card, if you have some special puzzle items, they'll let you complete some extra quests for free. Then we're going to go to the final quest. And the final quest is pretty simple, the way it works. You're going to flip the card. It's going to have a certain amount of life, which is 50. So this is going to come up here to the 50. And then you're going to play through the game just like we did. So we'll do all these phases, except the quest phase now goes into the fighting phase. And what that means is we're going to pick one of our traits, and we're going to roll 2 dice, because we can always roll 2 dice. If we have a staff item, we can also roll the blue to help us. So say I had this one. I can roll these dice, and that's terrible. If you roll 2 of those, you automatically, take a death card. But say I rolled this, I would have 5 plus pick my highest trait, so we'll say attack. So I'd be 8. I would hit this character for 8, but he's going to have an energy card that may negate some of that stuff. So let's say I hit him for 8. If you get to the red line, a couple things happen. You get the energy card for points, and the monster attacks. He's going to do his thing. He's got a 4 value, and he's going to roll 2 dice, add them all together. And if you can do your defense and all that. If you can block it, fine. If not, you take a death card. So that's it. And then you're going to keep going until someone has we've all worked together to defeat him, but whoever gives the final blow defeats him, takes the 50 points, and that's the end of the game. You're going to add up all your points here, minus any death cards you have, and anything that you have equipped at the end. So if it's up here at the end, that's also worth points. And then whoever has the most points after all that is the winner. There is a variant where you can play if you get 5 death cards, you actually die and are out. I'm never going to play that because that's brutal. But there is some additional variants in the book if you want to play with that. And some additional final quest cards. 2 other ones just to make it a little different so you're not playing the same game every time. So that is Shadowgate the Living Castle. Let's go to the top. See what you think about it.
What do you think, son? What do you think?
All right, well, that was Shadowgate the Living Castle. Now let's talk about some components because that's what we do with the first thing here. There's some nice wooden bits. This is the lock tokens that are on the quest at the beginning. Some custom dice. I didn't talk about this red die much, but if the lantern burns too low, you have to roll this die and it's going to negatively affect everybody. So that stinks. The blue dice is cool. It has the staff icon for when you're getting staff and rolling those. Black die is a cool skull. I like some of the art on the death cards. They're really neat. I'm not sure if that's from the game or not, but I really dig it. Bunch of cool Grim Reapers. The art kind of reminds me on these cards of like Weberson Santiago, Bloody Inn and all that stuff. It's not, but it definitely has his feel to it. Really nice cardboard bits. They're pretty thick, double-sided. The cards are good quality, easy to tell where they go. I'm not sure about color blindness. They have symbols on them, but as I'm looking at the board, okay, yeah, all the symbols are different. So there you go. The yellow one has a triangle. The blue one has a square and the green one has a circle, so you can't see the colors that well. There's also symbols. That's good. Fantastic player aid. You can basically learn the game from this if someone knows it. It's easy to teach. Great icons. Yeah, not a lot of issues with the components. The board's pretty big. I don't necessarily know if that needs to be that big, but it's not the end of the world. It's not too much bigger than an actual, most other board games. It's just long ways, so maybe it feels bigger. Good rule book. Tells you everything you need to do. There's even a quick setup on the back, which I appreciate. Good size, easy to flip through. Examples, pictures, love all that stuff. So components, thumbs up. Now let's talk about gameplay. So I have no nostalgia for the video game. I never played it. I don't even know what system it's for. Maybe Nintendo or computer. I don't know. But I'm assuming the game is like a Wolfenstein or Doom or something. You're running into a place, unlocking treasure chests, fighting baddies. That's the vibe that I get from this, so I'm assuming that's how the video game is. But let's just talk about this. So this is effectively a dice rolling quest game. I'm going to send my little character out to try to complete quests. Not all the quests need dice, but you're going to have traits. If I have a 2 attack and I need to go to a quest that has a 5 attack, I got to roll some dice and hopefully I get that. If I succeed, I win. If not, I get bad things. Yeah, I don't love that mechanism. I get it. It fits with the theme. It makes sense with the game. Not necessarily my favorite. There are some puzzle quests, which I think are way cooler, where you're looking for these certain types of cards and you're just going there, turning in the cards, scoring points. Those are more fun in my book. But again, those are just that's the way that I like to play games. So I also don't love semi-co-op where people are trying to kind of mess each other over. There's enough of this in here. Like if you see, I have 4 puzzle cards, 4 puzzle items. There's 2 puzzle quests out there. By the time it gets back to me, both of those quests are going to be cycled to the bottom, and I'm not going to be able to complete them because no one's going to let me complete them. I don't like that stuff. That's not the way that I want to play a game. I don't like semi-co-op because it's always just you're not doing stuff for yourself. It always seems, I don't know if this is the case, but it always seems like people are doing stuff to just hurt other people, and that's not the way that I want to play a game. I want to do my thing. I want to play my quest. I want to try to complete my quest. I don't need you hindering what I'm doing because you're trying to score more points than me, so you're screwing me over. No, I don't like that. We're either all going to work together and win, or we're all going to do our own thing. So the semi-co-op, not my jam, but this isn't too bad. You can do your own thing a little bit. Like I played 2 players a couple times and we didn't really get into each other's way a lot, but I feel like if you're playing 4 players, there's going to be a lot of just messing people over. And I don't love that. But aside from the semi-co-op thing, I like the rest of it. I like how you're doing the quest. I like fighting the big bad. I like cycling through the quest, seeing what comes up. The events are fun. The items are cool. I feel super powerful when I equip all of my my items, so I can get my one time in the game special ability, which I didn't talk about, so I should talk about that. Once you equip all 4 of these cards for the first time, you'll get your special ability. You'll take your character and you'll flip it to this side, put it there so you know that you've got it, and then when you use it, you'll flip it back over. Once in the game thing, they're all really cool. Just help you kind of do your thing a little bit better. So I enjoy this game. It's probably not one that I'm going to play a ton over and over because it's not really my style, but if somebody wants to play it, I'll gladly play it. So that's high praise from me. So that is Shadowgate the Living Castle from Trick or Treat Studios. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.